What is up, people, and welcome back to the channel. So let's talk my uploads. They have been a bit scarce recently. I'll just tell you why. For the last months now, I've been suffering with a lump in my throat that affects my voice codes or my voice, whatever they're called, and it sucks. It really does suck. It's right at the bottom of my throat, behind your Adam's apple, and it sometimes gets hard to swallow. It's really intrusive. It's been a bit of a nightmare, to be honest. I've had it for months, and we've done that many tests now. It's unbelievable, and they've now put me on the emergency list for an EMT. So I'm actually off work at the minute because I have to rest my head, because when my neck moves, it's agitating it and aggravating it, and it gets to the point where I can barely swallow. So at the minute, I've been doing nothing. So all the uploads you've been seeing of ones that I had stored on my phone, well, on my YouTube, and the pictures are all stuff from old. So if you follow me on my Instagram, SkiddyM84, they're all old photos because I haven't been doing anything. Because it sucks. It really does suck. So although I'll come in the garage and show you where we are and what I was doing before I stopped. Let's talk this one then, and where we are now. This is the R1 Turbo. Now, let me just move my tripod. Everything's covered in dust because I haven't been up here. It's all finally settled. So let's talk about the R1, shall we? So the front subframe, you saw I had it back. So all I've done is put it back on. Basically, we made these bars. So we made these bars, didn't we? Which braced there. So they're on now, and it's fully welded in place. So all of this is welded to there. These are a bit dirty, could do a bit of a clean. So that's all welded into there. We have a full weld across the back there, only on this side for now, and we've got two tying legs, one there and one there. The only thing I had to do is lift the chassis up off the table, 16mm. So I've got some 16mm round stock, 16mm packers under the back, because the new design, it went away and it had all this cut out, new bearing carriers put in and new adjusters. Now if we look at that adjuster to, got the originals under here somewhere. This is where I dump stuff there. That is an old adjuster. And if you look at comparison, yeah, considerably beefier, because this car's going turbo, but this is his new design, and it uses these billet carriers, which are really nice. So all this got changed out. This plate got changed out. So that came back, but the bars at the bottom, they were straight before. Now they have a bend in them. So I had to lift the chassis up because of those two bars. So I worked out what the gap was, how far they stick down, and then move the chassis accordingly. So yes, they're on. The arms came. So I put 4 rose joints in there, or Heim joints as some people call them. I don't know why they call them Heim joints when they are rose joints, or yeah, Heim misalignment rose joints. So they're in. I put some hubs on. These are the arms off my subframe, just to get an idea of where it needed to be. Now, setup with these top arms are quite good, because we have got this much space to move the top arm forwards and backwards, but you can also move it in and outwards. So technically you can gain track, because inside here we've got fully adjustments. We're barely using none. So technically we could move this whole hub section out 10 mil, 15 mil to gain track. So we can gain 15 mils of track, then put 15 mil of offset in on your wheel design. So you are running more of a, blimey neck, what's it called? You know, the scrub radius. You want as much wheel on the inside as you can, ideally. Most minis have an issue is you run 0, which is loads sticking out and a little bit here, or equal. Well, really, you want them in closer to your pivot point. This pivot point going through here should be on the center of your rim, not where the center is, the center of the actual. Say if you've got 8J, 4J. Now, if you've got 8 inches, 4 inches should be about there, say. And then 4 inches that way, 4 inches that way. But if you look at this, when you have big stick out, it really messes with your handling. That's why if you look on my Booster split rims, I haven't got a lot of lip on the outside. It's all on the inside, and then 9Js to help with the handling. Even though the handling at the minute is shit, I completely fucked it up. I'm not going to lie. Chasing my tail for 2 days, trying to get that Booster to work. And it just, we went to Donington Park and I could only drive it half throttle. I think I need 2 new radius arms on the rear. One is pretty bent, I think, because I curbed it at Brands Hatch, which took a big knock, and then I ran over the curbs at Castle Coob. I think something's wrong with it, and I'm not skillful enough with geometries to figure out what's gone wrong with it. I can set it, but I set it up and it still didn't work, so there's something wrong. So I'm going to get someone else to fix it. Right, so anyway, where were we? Blah, 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 blah. We can move these in, move them out even, which is really good. So I've got to keep drinking to keep my throat wet. So yeah, that's why I've done what I've done. Blimey heck, that is why I've done what I've done, as in to get it working. That's why it's a rough setup here. But I have actually asked if I can have more of these arms, because they are a really nice arm. But I'm still waiting, because Knights Motorsport, if you go up to him and say, I want 10 kits, he'll be interested in making 10 kits, but he won't make a kit. Do you know what I mean? Because he's that busy with other stuff that's more important, more profitable. This to him is not really that profitable anymore. So, anyway, steering rack mount fitted. We are fitted. And I have notched there, so this has got more rotation, because normally it sits about there, which goes off to the driver, but this is having electric power steering, so I need to get the power steering motor. I'm getting filthy, like up here somewhere, so it's going to come up and then out. So I had to notch that, and the way I did that was got it to this touches the box section and basically draw around it. Then inside there, some thick wall tube cut in half. I did have, right down here, this basically cut the section off here, put it in, welded it up, TIG welded it up, job's good. And then because this subframe's different, do you know my rack mounts, these? Bump steer is absolutely at a minimum. I have put these in the milling machine and I took 2.5 mils off. I make these a little bit taller than they need to be. So you can machine the tops down to make this rack come up to bump out bump steer, because every car's a little bit different, and because this subframe's different, these mounting points are in a different place. I had to pop it on the milling machine over there. That's why the milling machine is filthy. And I took 2.5 mils off to bring the bump steer to basically nothing. It's still got its arc because mini suspension runs in the arc, but it hasn't got bump steer. So what I would also do with this car is run the Mondo Sport top arms. If anyone hasn't seen a set of Mondo Sport top arms, well, steering arms, these are nice. They're expensive, don't get me wrong, but they are really nice. I brought these from my Busa. I don't know if I'll ever actually use them, but these are Mondo Sport top arms. And these are designed to run with rose joints. So basically this goes on here, and then you can space down for rose joints. I mean, that looks massive, but it's, you know, goes to about there. And then you run, he does sell the complete kit. I didn't buy the complete kit. Then you've got a pin that goes here, and there's all spacers, rose joints. Really nice. I think these were like 260 quid just for these arms. So yeah, Mondo Sport. Mondo Sport. There's your email and phone number if you want to get in touch. Yeah, so yeah, they are really good, and you can dial out bump steer with them. Hang on, I'm going to finish my coffee.
I'm back.
So yeah, rack mounts fitted. That's all together. This shock is set at 11 inches. Ride height. Centre to centre. I used my spare Protec, and I've been in touch with Tim at Protec, and he can make me a 10-inch shock with a 5-inch spring. They custom made. If you go onto Instagram, the easiest way I find to get in touch with Tim, Instagram, find Protec, go to messages. Hi Tim, Skidmore sent me. They will make you what you need. So these are fake shocks at the minute. That's actually the bar that I use across the top of the tail bolts. So that's not quite correct. But these are fake shocks, so we can get a rough idea of where the shocks are going to be. Yeah, so that is about where they are going to sit. But this is going to get done at Custom Minis. We're actually going to leave that for now. And what he's going to bring me soon is power steering, the column parts, pedal box, and we're going to get working on the driver's seating position. Because this got put in. So you saw me put these two bars in for the seat. These are threaded inserts, dish. Then I put the centre in for the 5th point on harness. And this got TIG welded. Hang on, let me press this. There we go. So this is TIG welded in. So this got cleaned up. That got drilled. Then this got pressed in. Then TIG welded. So the odds of this moving are very minimal. And if you did ever break the weld, if it tries to pull that way, it's stuck in the hole anyway. But we press these in instead. Then we've got triangulation going straight the way through. Now I run it this way, not this way. If I went this way, I might have been able to tie that into this. But if you think of it like this, that's coming this way. So the weight pushing down is being transferred to this and that. If it went this way, the weight being transferred into that corner. Well, we want as minimal weight there as possible for deflection. So I've run it this way to pass the weight into the main structure of the chassis. Yeah, it's like it's all being tied into here, this section. So it's all being passed somewhere else. Where if you went that way, it'd just be sitting there. So you want to keep it, you've really got to think 2 steps ahead of where you are to make sure you're not putting load into somewhere that isn't the best supported. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's solid. I've been in there and bounced up and down on that one. I had it on the floor and it did not move. So any other bar we put in is helping to strengthen that. Then we've got a harness tie down here. Now to put that in, I put the seat in, which is where I got that point from. Then we ran angles to the hole in the seat. So this is actually angled to the seat. So you're not pulling on it in any which way. It's perfectly going to be pulling on the centre of the hook on the seat. Hang on, let me show you. Where are we? Is that, yeah. Oof. So if we get one of these, I always keep loads of these. We'll just use this one. Because they come with all the harnesses, but I don't really use them. So that is pulling on the throat. Where if the seat hole was there, it could be pulling like that. Do you know what I mean? So you really want it to be pulling straight. So that is in line with the seat. And we are drilled, pressed, and all this is TIG welded in. And then the other one, the other side is the same. So we added some triangulation to the corner to get that in line with that one and in line with the seat. And then that one all got TIG welded in, pressed and TIGged, went in at the correct angle to meet the seat. So this is a lot of stuff you got to think about is, yes, that doesn't look the best, but it's where it needs to be. And it's being passed on, its strength is all being moved around. And that is all I've done. Oh, I've done these radius arm mounts. Now they put these and this in. I've still got to put one in here, but I'll do that when the chassis turns around because it's a bit awkward to do where it is. So those are finished off. That's about it. That is about all we've done. It's got to come off, be flipped so I can weld the underside of everything. And I'm just waiting for parts, but because I'm not very well, I really don't want to be in here because it's cold and it does affect my throat quite a lot. So I haven't been doing anything. I've literally been sitting in bed. Yeah. So there we go. That's where we are. These are welded in, welded. And this is just set up to see where we are. Fine. That is it. I'm going back in the house. Too cold. Those playing up. So yeah, it's all here. It's all swollen and there's like a lump on the inside. It's not the best. So yeah, stick with me. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. And if you subscribe, press the bell. It's like 85% of my subscribers don't even watch my videos. So yeah. Anyway, I appreciate you. Thanks. See you later, people.